Uh, this is Jazz Cartier, and you're watching Hot New Hip Hop. Yeah. Life before music was pretty hectic. I went to 13 schools, so traveled a lot. Went to like Idaho for a bit. It sucked. Had like 2 years in Barbados. Mom settled down in Houston for a bit. Georgia. We were in Woodstock. We were in Kuwait. I went to school in Connecticut for like 4 years. Virginia, Maine, Africa, and then like, Toronto's where I was born. So that's like the place I connect with the most. My first concert was Janet Jackson and Usher in '99, I'm pretty sure. Back in the day when I first started coming up with music, I was into like a lot of R&B, heavy, and that's all my mom would play. Like Jamiroquai, Lauryn Hill, Erica, Maxwell, all of that back in the crib. That's what I was exposed to. And she also had like a big CD collection of everything from like Tribe, Black Sheep, Jungle Brothers, like all that stuff. So like my involvement with hip hop kind of started with like the fundamentals, at like a very young age. Second, third grade, I started getting into like Lil Flip and stuff, I'll always credit him for like my love for rap and like all things hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Like when I was 15, I recorded like my first song, cause I used to just like write, like have like notebooks, and I just write songs and like stack them up and like make albums out of them, And so like there's like 8 notebooks that my mom hit me up recently. She's like, I found your notebooks with like all your writings in them. I'm like, don't look through them. Then I actually started to like get into like the art of recording, which is like, that's like a whole other science, Like finding your voice, knowing what your range can do, and like all that stuff. And like even like back then when I was 15, I had no idea like what I was able to do back then, But like I only recently just like found out like what I can do like behind the mic, So I got accepted to Columbia, but at the time I was like, I was already in boarding school alone for like 4 or 5 years. My family was like overseas, and then it came around that time where like I was like, either I go to Chicago, start a new life there, or I can finally like connect with Toronto like I always wanted to, because I was always away, and I don't know, I think I was like 18, and that was the perfect time for me. So I was just like, I went out on a limb and just like moved back there, and that's when I just like, I first moved back and I stayed with homie of mine, Ronise and Isaiah, and like I stayed on their couch for like 6 months till I got my shit together, and like the place that I stayed at, that's the dungeon that I mentioned in like a lot of my like raps, So it was the progress from like the dungeon, and then finally made my way to the palace, and that's how it was. Marauding In Paradise was in the works for about 4 years. The biggest thing that you gotta know about this project, it's like a big underdog story. Like I had to overcome a lot just to like put this out. I separated myself from all like anybody coming out of Toronto. Like we're not in the same boat right now. We're not in the same tier. You know what I'm saying? Like I came up with a lot of people, and it's like been a year now, and like no one's around me, So like that's pretty much it. And like the thing about Toronto, like they used to call it like the screwface capital, but when you're popping, there's a lot of jealousy and shit. So I think I overcame it a lot, like people were like on the fence at first, but now that they see that shit's popping, a lot of numbers that I haven't texted me in a bit are calling now, you know what I'm saying? So that shit happens. Jacuzzi LaFleur is he's a madman that appears when I'm in the studio. Yeah, cause like I'm like always relaxed and chill, but like people just always don't expect my music to be like how it is, cause like when they see me, But a friend of mine, DJ Amy Trap House, who like she used to be like the floral diva, So back in the day, she gave me the name LaFleur, and like Jacuzzi. If no one's ever noticed, but Jacuzzi is the only word with jazz in it. So Jacuzzi LaFleur, yeah, that's me. What's coming up next? More shows. I think a tour in like top of the new year. Tennis show with Vice, still gonna be on and popping. More music, man. Like I'm just like a man of music. I don't do anything but go to the studio. If I'm not in the studio, I'm plotting. You know what I'm saying? Like it's literally all I think about day in and day out. Second project's pretty much done. Yeah, I'm like waiting to push a button on that soon. But I'm probably just gonna wait till like the new year, you know, and just like, you know, hold off in a bit, because like Paradise did take a long time, but then on top of that, I'm gonna start putting out songs soon, you know, in like the next like 3 weeks or so, just like dish them out. But yeah, I got some shit coming.